For March Madness 2022, I am partnering with BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook. Using the link in the description, you can get a 125% sign-up bonus using the promo code JOIN125. A $100 minimum deposit is necessary. Get in on the action on this NCAA tournament and March Madness season and any other sport in general, and make some money. Get in on the action with BetUS. Before we get started with this video, I want to let you guys know about my Discord server. We're talking college basketball live games, just college basketball in general, bracketology, Q&As, all that stuff. Hit the link in the description to join the Super Celtic 24 Discord server. Sup guys, it's Alex here, and welcome to the March 11th edition of the Bracketology update. And man, I am so freaking excited for this championship week. Today is the meat and potatoes of the conference tournaments. The SEC quarterfinals are starting with Kentucky, Auburn, Arkansas, all those, Tennessee, all those teams starting up. Then you got the Big Ten, you got Illinois, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Rutgers all starting up. The ACC and Big 12 continuing, all the other conferences as well. It's just going to be a great day of basketball. Yesterday we had some pretty crazy upsets. We had Baylor falling to Oklahoma. That was just completely unexpected. I was not thinking that was going to happen at all. Huge win for Oklahoma to get back up into the tournament picture. We'll take a look at them in a second. And that means that Baylor, they are on the last one spot. I mean, they're most likely they'll probably fall to the SEC champion if it's Auburn or Kentucky. They'll probably fall to the 2 line, and then either Auburn or Kentucky will advance to the 1 line. But that's another story for another day. We also had Virginia Tech as a 7 seed upset 2 seed Notre Dame, which I don't even know if that's really an upset. I mean, I think Virginia Tech is the better team there. I'm surprised that I know a lot of Las Vegas sportsbooks had Virginia Tech as a favorite there. But then you also had Indiana, who was down by like 17 points. Came back and somehow beat Michigan. I don't know how that happened, but Indiana is now in the last team in spot. Michigan should still be safe for the tournament, but you never know. And we also had Ohio State lose to Penn State in a huge upset. Then you also had Alabama lose to Vanderbilt. Just a lot of crazy upsets happening in the different conference tournaments. This is just why I love March. It's March Madness for a reason. But before we take a look at the bracket and stuff like that, I want to let you guys know about that subscriber giveaway. If we hit 7,777 subscribers by midnight on Sunday night, I will be giving away a first-round NCAA tournament ticket. If you want to enter the giveaway, all you have to do, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications on, take a screenshot of you being subscribed, send it over to @AlexPrice24 on Instagram, and that's all you got to do to enter. I'll send you a confirmation message. I'll draw a winner on Monday and let you guys know who ended up winning that giveaway, a ticket and all that. But we are about 300 or so subscribers away. I think we can get there, especially with the actual tournament video. But make sure if you're not subscribed to hit that subscribe button and enter the giveaway. So taking a look back here at the bubble, top overall seed remains Gonzaga. They're going to be the top overall seed. They've already won their conference. Nothing's going to change there. First team out is SMU. They need to make a big run here in their conference tournament. I think they play today as well. And then the last team in, as I mentioned, is Indiana. Indiana plays Illinois today. I don't think Indiana gets in without a win against Illinois. If they beat Illinois, they're in. I mean, that's all you got to do if you're Indiana. You're already in the last team in. That'll probably bump them up to maybe the last team on that last 4 buys, or maybe the top team on the first 4 out, or the last 4 in. But either way, that should be enough. A win over Illinois should get Indiana into the field. So, taking a look at the rest of the bubble, last 4 buys are Miami, who had a crazy overtime game against Boston College yesterday. They were able to win on a last-second layup in overtime. That was crazy. Rutgers plays today. They had a double bye in the Big Ten tournament, so I can't remember who they're playing. I want to say it's Iowa, but I may be wrong on that. Then Michigan, as we've already talked about, they lost to Indiana, so they should still be safe, but they get a little bit antsy there. Then Notre Dame, they lost yesterday to Virginia Tech. They should still be fine. They'll probably be playing in Dayton as a last 4-in team, but I think that Notre Dame should still be safe. That win over Kentucky back in December is really that star on that resume that's going to keep them in the tournament. Last 4-in are Wyoming, Wake Forest. Wyoming, I think, should be safe for the tournament. Wake Forest, on the other hand, is going to be iffy. Xavier, I don't think, is going to end up making the tournament. Then Indiana, we've already talked about. First 4 out are SMU and Dayton. Then we have Virginia Tech and Oklahoma. That I think all 4 teams are still alive in their conference tournaments, so you got to watch out if you're Wake Forest, Xavier, Indiana, maybe even Notre Dame, that sort of thing. Then the next 4 out are BYU, who's not going to make it, VCU, who might make it if they win their conference tournament, Texas A&M, who's still alive. They just beat Florida yesterday. I think that they play, I'm pretty sure that they play Tennessee, I want to say, today. We'll kind of see what happens with that. And then Virginia, who will not make it either. They lost last night to North Carolina. But taking a look at the movement here, we have San Diego State up to a 9. Michigan falls to an 11 there. San Francisco just falls to a 10 from other teams passing them. And we have Indiana new to the field as the 12. Michigan State up to a 7 after beating Maryland in the conference tournament. Marquette down to an 8 after falling to Creighton in the Big East tournament yesterday. I got to mention too, we almost had another huge upset twice in the Big East tournament. We almost had Providence lose to Butler. They were able to pull away at the end. And then Villanova beat St. John's by 1 point. So the Big East tournament is getting pretty crazy. It'll be interesting to see what happens today. Then we have Iowa up to a 5 after they just demolished Northwestern. Houston down to a 6. Creighton up to a 10. Then over there in the East Regional, we have Memphis up to an 8 and Seton Hall down to a 9. So as you guys know, every time that one of these new brackets come out, I go to vertex42.com and just update all this, download this Excel bracket and then update for all the teams based off of Joe Lenardi's most recent Bracketology update. I'll be doing the same thing on Selection Sunday for the actual tournament video, so I'm super excited for that. We are only really only 2 days away from Selection Sunday now, because I was thinking of like college basketball days, because we got today, we got tomorrow, and then Sunday as well. But either way, whatever you want to call it, there'll probably be 2 more Bracketology updates that come out tomorrow, or one will be tomorrow, and then the final one on Sunday. And then we have our main selection show video, and I am so freaking excited for that. But if you're watching at this point in the video, we got to come up with our 2-word food item. Yesterday, I went out with some friends, got some drinks and all that stuff, and as an appetizer, we had cheese curds. So if you're watching at this point in the video and not just skipping to the end to see who I have in my Final Four as my national champion, comment cheese curds below in the comments section. I want to see who's an actual viewer. So anyway, almost 7 minutes into the video, let's go ahead and start making our predictions. So up first, we're going to have Gonzaga obviously beat the winner of Nichols and Alcorn. Then we're going to go with TCU beating San Diego State. They were able to beat Texas yesterday. I think they could get the job done there. North Texas, man, I've been saying it in the past couple of Bracketology. Same thing with Vermont here. I'll kind of bucket these two together. I think North Texas and Vermont can both make some noise in the actual NCAA tournament, pull off a first-round upset. But against Connecticut and against Arkansas, respectively, I just don't see that happening. So I'm going to go with UConn and Arkansas there. Then I'm going to go... Yesterday, I had Michigan beating Duke as a 10/2, and then they go out and lose. I am still going to pick Michigan here just because I don't believe in Alabama. They're still too inconsistent, even more inconsistent than Michigan, so that's why I have Michigan advancing there. Texas Tech will beat Seattle. Then we're going to go with Colorado State beating San Francisco and Wisconsin over Georgia State. Then for a spot in the Sweet 16, we got Gonzaga advancing on past TCU. Arkansas, I do think, will be able to beat Connecticut. Then we're going to go with Texas Tech over Michigan and Wisconsin over Colorado State. Then for a spot in the Elite Eight, I'm doing it again. I got Arkansas advancing on past Gonzaga. I've been doing it for the most recent, or for every basic bracketology in the past couple of videos, so not going to go too in depth there. If you want to check that out, I'm sure you've been able to hear my thoughts from the last bracketologies. Wisconsin versus Texas Tech. This is a game that I think would be very interesting. I am going to go with Texas Tech here. Wisconsin, I had winning that game, I think, yesterday and going to the Elite Eight, but Texas Tech just looked amazing yesterday against Iowa State. I got Texas Tech advancing on there, but for a spot in the Final Four, nothing's changed. Arkansas hasn't done anything to make me change my mind. I got Arkansas advancing to the Final Four out of that region. So, going down to the bottom left one, Baylor, the team that I got upset by Oklahoma yesterday. They're still going to beat Norfolk State. I got Memphis advancing on past Seton Hall, getting Penny Hardaway a tournament win. Then we're going to go with the winner of Wyoming and Wake Forest to beat LSU. I do think it'll be Wyoming, and I think they're going to dominate down low against LSU. Illinois will beat Toledo. Then we're going to go with Davidson pulling off the 11/6 upset over Ohio State. I just don't believe in Ohio State. I tried to yesterday. I explained it yesterday. I tried to believe in Ohio State, but they proved me wrong yet again. I got Davidson advancing on there. Villanova will beat Longwood. Then we're going to go with Miami pulling off the 10/7 over USC, along with Kentucky over Jacksonville State. Then for a spot in the Sweet 16, we got Baylor advancing on here past Memphis, along with Illinois over Wyoming. Then I'm going to go with an upset pick here. I'm going to go with 11 seed Davidson advancing on to the Sweet 16. Usually we have a couple double-digit seeds that advance on to the Sweet 16. I think Davidson is one of those teams that can make some noise this year. And Villanova, struggling to put away St. John's. I think that they could get upset by Davidson. Do I think that could actually happen? Out of 100 times, do I think Villanova wins the majority of them? Yes. But there's always those times that they don't. I got Davidson pulling off the upset. And they will face Kentucky, who will beat Miami. Then for a spot in the Elite Eight, we got Baylor falling to Illinois here. I got the Fighting Illini with Kofi Cockburn advancing on there past Baylor. Baylor's been my national champion over the last couple of bracketologies, but I'm changing my mind there. It had been iffy. If you've been watching my recent bracketologies, I've always been like, I don't know if I want to actually pick Baylor or not. But now is my opportunity to not do so. I got Illinois advancing on to the Elite Eight, where they will face Kentucky, and they will fall to Kentucky in the Elite Eight. That'd be very interesting to see the matchup between Kofi Cockburn and Oscar Tshiebwe down low. I do think Kentucky has the firepower around the rest of the team to advance on past Illinois there. So moving on down to the bottom right regional, we got Kansas advancing on here past Long Beach State. Then I'm going to go with Murray State pulling off the victory over Marquette in a rematch of a first-round matchup a couple years ago, where we had Marquette as a 5 seed with Marcus Howard and John Morant, Murray State as the 12 seed. That was a fun game. Then we're going to have Iowa advance on past South Dakota State, UCLA beating Princeton, Houston I do think will beat Notre Dame along with Purdue over Montana State. Then for a spot, or no, not yet, we got to go with Creighton pulling off the 10-7 over Boise State, and then Auburn beating St. Peter's. Then for a spot in the Sweet 16, we got Kansas advancing on past Murray State there. UCLA, I do think, will beat Iowa, though that would be a very... Actually, no, I'm going to switch that up. I'm going to go with Keegan Murray and Iowa pulling off the victory there over UCLA in a 5-4. They've just been playing fantastic, lights out on offense recently. Then I'm going to go with Purdue beating Houston along with Auburn over Creighton. Then for a spot in the Elite Eight, I should say, I am going to go with the Jayhawks of Kansas advancing on there, where they will face the winner of Purdue and Auburn, which I am 50-50 between this matchup. Honestly, I do think the winner of this matchup here will advance to the Final Four out of this region. So I'm going to go with Purdue advancing on this time around against Auburn, and then Purdue will go on to the Final Four. The Boilermakers with Jaden Ivey advancing on to the Final Four. So up here, final region, top right, we got Arizona advancing on past the winner of Wright State and Bryant. Then we're going to go with North Carolina beating Iowa State. Texas, I do think, will beat the winner of Xavier and Indiana, which I think at this point will be Indiana. Providence will beat Chattanooga. Then we're going to go with Rutgers pulling off the 11-6 over St. Mary's. I may be disrespecting St. Mary's a little bit because they have beaten Gonzaga, but I just think that Rutgers, they've beaten a ton of top teams as well. I think they could get the job done. We're going to go with Tennessee over Colgate, Michigan State to beat Loyola Chicago, and then we are going to go with Duke over Delaware. So up next for a spot in the Sweet 16, we got Arizona advancing on past North Carolina. Then we're going to go with Texas beating Providence, so that matchup is a 50-50 as well. I'm just going to go with the 5 beating the 4 there. Then we're going to go with Tennessee advancing on past Rutgers, and then Duke beating Michigan State. Then for a spot in the Elite Eight, Arizona, I do think, will beat Texas, along with Tennessee pulling off the victory against Duke, which sets up a rematch of this. I think this game happened back in December on Tennessee's home floor. We are going Arizona versus Tennessee. I think Tennessee won by 4 on Tennessee's home floor way back when, but on a neutral floor with the way these two teams are playing, I got Arizona advancing on to the Final Four. So in the Final Four, we have a pretty crazy scene here. We have a 1 seed in Arizona, 2 seed in Kentucky, 3 seed in Purdue, and then 4 seed in Arkansas. So a pretty weird kind of way to set up this Final Four, but that's how I got it going this time around. Arkansas versus Kentucky. I do have Kentucky advancing on to the national championship in that game. They'll be very interesting to see if those two teams end up matching up in the SEC tournament. I'd love to see a rematch there with a fully healthy Kentucky and a fully healthy Arkansas. So then up next, Arizona versus Purdue. That game is a complete toss-up for me, but I'm going to go with the talent of Purdue advancing on there. Kentucky versus Purdue in the national championship game. I am going to go with the Kentucky Wildcats being fully healthy. I think they're one of the top contenders for this national championship this year. One of the favorites. Purdue as well. I mean, even if you want to throw in Gonzaga, Auburn, all those teams in there, even Arizona, all that stuff, I would not blame you at all. But in this bracketology, I just have Kentucky winning it all based off of how the bracket shaped up. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to leave your thoughts about my predictions in the comment section below. Let me know your own predictions as well in the comments. Don't forget to join BetUS, join the Discord server, enter the tournament ticket giveaway, all that fun stuff. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all later.